Hey, it's Phil Matthew from BillAndTomPlus.com. I'm here with Tom Matthew. Say hello, Tom.
How are you?
And Janine Matthew.
Hi.
We're going to talk to you today about probably the thing that either makes you or breaks you in this industry, which is making money online / building a business online.
And just before we get to that, we're going to talk about something that's much more important. Okay. Just a little starter offer. We're going to go for about 15 minutes here. But today, me and Phil went to the dentist and something extraordinary happened. Not surprising. I don't think it was surprising. Not surprising to me.
Oh, God.
Probably surprising to Mum.
Right.
But I got x-rays the other day of my mouth.
Right.
And because I get wisdom teeth coming through or whatever. Turns out, according to the dentist, I have twice as many wisdom teeth as anybody else. So therefore, I must be the smartest man alive by my calculations. And of course, my calculations are always correct. So
That's because you've got so many wisdom
exactly.
teeth.
So I just thought I'd bring that up. I've got more wisdom than all of you, based on my teeth, and I thought that was an important point to bring up.
Well, fair enough. And so back to the.
He's
Did you want to talk about your teeth? Did you anymore?
No, that's it. That was it.
Yeah, cool.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, I had excruciating. What was it? The hygiene.
The hygiene. It was
For 45 minutes of picking at me teeth.
It comes out.
It's worse than the dentist. It's worse than actually going into the
It
actual
comes
dentist.
out. Oh, that was torture. What a weak dog. What a weak dog. God.
Did you get a needle?
For the hygiene?
Yeah.
No.
Do you get the numb thing?
No.
No.
I'll be honest. I agree with that. I went to the dentist today to get fillings, and they needled me. I almost fell asleep when they were doing that. She had a needle in her hand, and she put it in. I'm like, "Have you done that yet?" And she goes, "Yeah." Didn't feel a thing the whole way through. But that hygiene crap, the scratching, I'm like, "Okay, it's okay, it's okay." Bang! Hit my gum. Ow! Thank you for that. It's brutal. I hated it.
I don't like the noise. You know when they go scrape, scrape, pick, pick.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Oh, I don't like that.
Anyway, that's our dentist
That's
story.
the
for this
dentist story.
So basically, what was I going to talk about?
I don't know. You said
I
it'll either make you or break you.
Yeah, either make you or break you. Well, what would make you or break you if you were building a business online? What would make you or break you?
Well, I always go back to the same thing every time. It's the mindset. I believe that.
Right.
Mindset is. Are we talking generally like that? The general rules, which is mindset, is number one, or are we talking specific mechanics?
No, I think we're talking generally.
Okay, well then I say mindset all day long.
What would you say, Janine? What's your opinion?
Mindset.
After you've been involved for a year now.
Yeah. What will make you or break you? I would say.
An axe.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to think of how to put it into words. I would say it's not. Is it the system? Being my admin self.
Well, while you think of that, Mum, can I just interrupt and say that if we went into the business with a mindset that a lot of people have of, everything's a scam, and had the mindset that everybody's trying to rip us off, we would not be doing this right now. That's a mindset that some people have.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
see it all the time. Like for example, even in it's a general paradigm in society about getting scammed. Like I bought a video game about 2 weeks ago. It came out and it was very glitchy. The online part doesn't work, and they keep giving it. The developers keep giving us updates saying, "Oh, we're working on it. We just put out another update." And of course, all these tweets are coming through saying, "Oh, you ripped us off. It's a scam." It's a game. It's like one of the biggest industries in the world, and they're saying it's a scam. You ripped me off. You can go get your money back if you want. And they're saying it's a scam. That's just the mindset of people. So if we went into business with that mindset, we'd be screwed. We wouldn't be still doing it.
Well,
Here, my answer is you need to treat it like a business, and you need to treat it with long-term thinking. It is not an overnight thing.
I agree with that.
So are you saying, Tom, in your experience, you're 23 years of age, are there scams? Do scams exist in your opinion?
Do scams exist?
Do scams
exist?
exist?
Do scams exist? I'd have to say...
In life, I'm talking about.
In life, I'd have to say yes. Based off my only experience of anything like that would be that our blog got hacked.
Right.
And in my mind, I just think, how can people do that? Like, and remember the picture came up, it had music. I'm like, what? So this guy has nothing better to do but screw with other people. That's it. Now, as far as being scammed for money, like buying a product, that has never happened to me personally. Because even if there's a crap product that we have bought and they're promised more than they can deliver, when I read those sales letters and stuff, I'd never believe that they're in the business of scamming people. They believe they're trying to sell a product. They're trying to do their best. They're not trying to scam money out of you. That's my personal opinion. So I don't believe I've ever been scammed.
Sure. Well, okay.
You're saying that they're selling something with the best intentions of all intentions.
They've got good intentions.
They've got good intentions, but unfortunately, what they're selling doesn't necessarily work for everybody.
Yeah, so I guess my opinion is that there are scams that exist, not just on the internet and online, but in life. There are scams. So it's people get caught by them, all the time. And I could say that, geez, I think I've gone close to getting scammed a few times. It's funny, some of the people we've, nearly been involved with.
Oh, geez, one person comes to mind straight away.
Actually, it makes me think of when I used to go to these some seminars 20 years ago. I can remember some of the people that got up to speak. They ended up in jail. Now, were they scams?
They weren't scams.
There was a guy called Brad Cooper, for example, and it is a fact that he ended up in jail. Nice guy, started a company, very ambitious.
What's his name?
There was a guy called Rodney Adler.
Adler.
He was a multi-millionaire. Again, up on stage talking about success principles. He ended up in jail. These are Australian people I'm talking about, not even American people. What about our little friend, the stock market guy? Renee Rivkin, his name was, and he was really big, and he ended up in jail.
I just like to point out the fact that there's just as many poor people in jail as there are.
That's right.
I just bring that point up because I remember we were listening to Louise Hay, and this person brought up this point that she said, I've got a problem with rich people, because she was trying to get out of this method of thinking. I've got a problem with rich people because my uncle was rich and he was a really mean person. And Louise Hay just said, well, there's poor people who are mean to people as well, who are pricks as well, which I think it's an important thing to say.
And so, I believe, just coming back, how long have we got for here, Tom? I don't want to.
We got about 7.5 minutes.
Right, and so the headspace thing is the big thing. So, why I say that is because my trajectory, my upbringing was very conservative, and there was never any talk of money at all. It was all about the idea of old age thinking, get a good job, a safe and secure job, that sort of thing, work for the government, a government enterprise, and that is perceivably success or financial success. So it seems like the people, I don't know, the generation that's gone ahead of us, who are probably now in their 70s or 80s, back when they were in their 50s, we're going back 30 years, they really didn't have much because they'd come through the war years and they just had a different sort of mindset. They were brought up in the, there was the agricultural age, the industrial age, and now we're in the information age. So it's a totally different way of looking at things. And so my headspace was not somebody who was an entrepreneurial headspace. It wasn't that. It was working a job. And I can remember at age 32 thinking, who knows what's going on around here financially. Now, in that time, I'd been married about probably 8 years, and my wife, Janine, her family was more business types, work for themselves. And I thought, wow, wasn't that that's a great thing, work for yourself, because it was never ever talked about. And so I can remember these little bumps along the way. I'm a slow learner. I wrote a blog post about this week. So I was just thinking today that, I think I was around age 25. There was a bloke in Amway, my friend Tony, and he gave me this book, The Magic of Thinking Big, by David Schwartz. And you could get that book today. You could go to Amazon, whatever. And at 25 years of age, because I read that book, it made me think another way. So I think that's an important thing. And when I was 32, reason I'm probably bringing this up because I was reading this stuff today. It's one of these successful internet guys. Guess what? He used to be in network marketing or Amway, and he was talking all about the phone call and the pain that was involved in that. And so I got into network marketing at about 32 years of age, and the thing that you had to do was you had to actually step out and what they call show the plan. You had to ring people up and go and present a plan, present an idea. So if that wasn't intimidating enough, you actually had to ring and book your own appointments. You had to ring up someone and tell them that you had a business idea and, why don't we catch up for a cup of coffee? My mind was so retarded back then that I can remember the guy that was teaching me, he was trying to teach me fundamental things. And so things like, words like sales type word, like do you ever look at other ways of making money? I could never ever say that. I couldn't say it, couldn't put those words together. The very word idea, I-D-E-A, I remember saying to him, you're not going to believe this, what's an idea? Because I was so, things like products and services, those words were very foreign to me. The word like invoice, because we were just starting a business, well, what's an invoice? I just had no idea, because I'd been in this job incubator and I had no idea. So what's the point? The point is that I had to make these phone calls, you had to book appointments. What they did, one thing that I learned was that they worked on systems, and they had a system of personal self-development, which was basically, very simply, listening to something positive every day. In those days it was tapes, today it's CDs. But I've got to tell you that, man, they were excellent at those systems.
Haven't we gone past CDs?
I was thinking that.
I mean, did I say CDs? Or?
Yeah.
Well, the point is that, to build a business online is an entrepreneurial idea. And when I say that, I should always say 6 figures and beyond. We're in it for 6 figures and beyond. We're not in it for pocket money. And so if people are in it for pocket money, they're on a hiding to nothing. You may as well get a part-time job.
It's not worth it for pocket money with the amount of
no,
effort
it's not
you have
worth
to
it.
put in.
It's not worth it for pocket money. But the industry attracts, because it's unregulated to a degree, pocket money people. We'll call it the get rich quick thing. Whereas, I was writing stuff today. I said, look, I'd much rather use the word wealth creation, wealth thinking than money. Making money. Let's make some money. It's boring to me. It's I'm thinking, well, where's the ongoing money? Where's the money that comes in while I sleep? That sort of excites me. To just make some money, I'm thinking, well, man, there's so many you could just do anything just to make some money, to survive, but you'll never thrive. You'll probably never thrive. Back to the headspace thing. That the point is that if you don't have a system, now I'm old school, so I could survive on tapes or CDs and books like that. The internet today is littered with it. I found stuff on the internet the other day, motivational videos on YouTube. They were just fantastic. But if people, and we actually went to an event, remember last year in Mexico,
Yeah.
Would you say that was motivational?
It was about marketing, but it is motivational being there.
Yeah.
The people you're speaking to.
Yeah, and I went to one, and I'm really not good at going to events. I have to drag myself kicking and screaming there. But I went to one recently. It was in Melbourne, our very home state.
The
Remember,
greatest city
I
in the
dragged
world.
myself there, but I was just alive the whole, and it went on for, I think I only went for a day, didn't I? Because for some reason, but I went for a whole day, and I was just loved it. And because it's taking time out from your day-to-day stuff to just be involved in it, just immerse yourself in it. And of course, I've been very much used to that over the years, going to these things. And I went to one this week, didn't I? And it was all about wealth creation, planning stuff,
Retirement.
basically. Yeah, this concept of retirement, and it was all to do with wills and estates, and I find myself, I don't know if I dragged myself there. I got there, and I just thought, by being at that little event, which only went for 2 hours, I just thought, my God, it is so important to have the right people around you, the right team. Yeah. So, how would you how long have we got to go?
We're at 15.
How long have we got to go now?
5 minutes.
Okay, so just on that, what do you do, Tom? What's your modus operandi for Headspace? Would you
My
say?
modus operandi is I get up every morning, and the first thing I do is I'll listen to something, either by going for a walk and listening to it from my phone, which is an MP3 player, or if it's raining or something, I'll get on YouTube and I'll listen to something like I did today. And then I'll read, then I'll do some mirror work, which is the week's hay stuff. Then I'll go over my goals, I'll read my vision statement, and I'll visualise. That sounds like a lot, but if I don't dawdle, which sometimes I do, I get caught up in music, I can get that probably done in half an hour, I reckon. So it's a good thing. Go ahead.
It's is that becoming a habit, would you say?
It is because, well, that's the thing I've learned this year. I was telling Mum today, I've learned this year. This year I've learned habits, and it started with doing the videos once a week.
Yeah.
And then that went on to the personal development. So next year I've got this great plan of doing these tiny little things that build habits. It's all about building habits, I think. So if you can build a habit of personal development, it is really, really good, especially if you start small. So I don't know what the date is, the 27th. So I've probably done it. I'm coming up to 60 days in a row without missing it. I'm doing it easy. I don't even think about it now.
Wow. Okay.
But you start small. You start small. So if you got 5 minutes a day, you might read for 5 minutes a day. That's where you start. You do it every day, and then you build from there.
And Janine, how do your brain work with motivation? How do you stay motivated? Because you're a different personality. You're more an admin type, had an admin background, and you're not somebody who runs to these seminars and events, and it's not your way. Although you have been to plenty and you have read plenty of stuff, but what do you do to keep motivated daily? Well,
mine's sort of probably, in one respect, a bit self-imposed because of the admin. So one of the things that I have to do, that I don't have to do, but one of the things that is a habit or is part of our system is that we post an affirmation every day.
Oh, yeah. We do.
So straight away every day, that's the first thing I do. Well, yeah, that's basically the first thing I do is post my affirmation. And then just because I do a lot of the posting and do a lot of the research and things like that, that I'm just constantly
you're sort of in it
reading and whatever, and so it's just reinforced every day while you do you're doing it.
That's
so while you're trying, you're trying to find, like, what was I doing today? Like I said to Tom today, I said that the post that I did today had been a challenge. Challenge being the content was fantastic, but the challenge was finding the images. Now, like going through and finding the images, I found 3 fantastic infographics. So while I sat there and read them, that was just that just reinforced why we're building the business and everything else like that. So,
how would you describe the atmosphere of what you do now compared to when you were working in a job? Because you just seem much more...
I can answer that. I can answer that. Yeah. She's home with me all day, Dad, okay? And I am hilarious. So...
I just spend my whole day laughing.
So, I mean, even today, when I was in there doing videos, she was meant to be out here working, okay? She was just enjoying the show, okay? She was laughing her head off.
Well, I mean, yes, you did put on a bit of a show today.
You're welcome.
Yes. No, well, it is totally different to going to a job, especially in the job.
Because you used to really it was a lot of effort because it was a very demotivating type arena or atmosphere, wasn't it? Without mentioning names and stuff like that. It took a lot of effort to actually just get through the day because of the gossip and the egos and all that stuff.
Politics.
Now you have our egos to deal with, but I think it's a different set. Maybe because we own it, possibly.
Well, yeah, but I think the difference. What is it? The major difference is that well, number one, you're doing it for yourself. Number two, that you're not looking for the accolades. Well, yeah, you were at work. You were at least looking for acknowledgement that you were doing a good job, and they'd say you were doing a good job, but then they'd come in and say, "Do you realise that you left like at 4:59, like a minute early, or you took, an extra 30 seconds for this?" But you go in there and you're in there an hour early every day, and you're sort of
so it was a contradiction. These little contradictions.
Yeah, I think the other thing is, at your old job, you probably weren't needed. You could have just been replaced. Here, you can't be replaced because me and Dad are just useless. We're the starters.
Well, that actually could be demotivating, not actually motivating.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you're stuck here, my friend.
That's your motivation, not my motivation.
I think what's interesting to the people listening is that we do think about the idea of actually outsourcing what we do, but it is important, in my opinion, to learn what you have to do, because in the end, actually outsourcing is you're actually it's a form of employee.
You're right. You are right.
You have to manage those outsourcers and employees.
Unless you actually do whatever it is that you want to outsource, unless it's something that you just have no interest in whatsoever, and then you're flying by the seat of your pants, because
that's a good point,
you think you're going wherever you go, whether you go to Odesk, whether you go to Fiverr, whether you go to a totally independent person, for whatever reason you're going there, you're presuming that they have expertise,
It depends
and
what
they're doing it the right way.
I think it depends.
It does depend on what it is.
It depends what it is. Like when I was doing the WordPress stuff. There's stuff that Mum knows how to do now, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't figure it out. So, but my first thought was just tell him to do it, and he did it, which is really good.
Yeah, that's right.
The other thing I was going to say is I was telling Mum today that I'm really excited about the video you sent me through. We won't mention what it is, but the video you sent me through and the new strategy that we're learning from a particular teacher that you sent through. Because it's much simpler, I'm excited about that because it's going to be much simpler to teach now.
It is, yeah. Oh, well, that's exactly right. Now, I guess just to wrap this up, if you guys, if you have any questions...
So if you didn't answer the question that you started with, which was, what do you think would make you or break you?
Yeah, and I said headspace.
So you were saying...
It's a headspace or mindset, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and if you got 5, just start small, start 5 minutes a day. Read a book for 5 minutes a day.
And you made a good comment. Do a positive thing, or what'd you say? Do a positive thing every day, or read a positive thing.
Oh no, I just said that because there's an abundance of information around today. I look at it this way, that if you want to move ahead, I like the idea of having a mentor and a coach. I think that's the fastest way. Someone that could recommend, because that mentor or coach has to know, who you are, what you're trying to do. They have to know your background. They have to know, your strengths, your weaknesses.
The other thing I think about just quickly is that if you want to be whatever you want to be, you have to find people who are like that. So if you want to be happy and successful, find somebody who's happy and successful and copy them. Yeah. That's why you read the books, because all these people who are writing the books are happy and successful. You're not going to get any of those happy and successful people talking about scams and how they've been ripped off. They're not going to be talking about that. So start reading the books if you want to be like them, which is happy and successful.
Yeah, I mean, we could go on and on and on.
We could.
We go on and on. So for me, I just want to wrap it up, letting you know that our website, it's www.
They're on our website, by the way.
Sorry?
They're on our website, but right now it's
right. That's what I knew that. It's philandtomplus.com.
They could be on YouTube.
And there's a little question section at the bottom, and you can pop a question in there, and we'll do our best to
cut that out. Let's cut that out.
Yeah.
We're not doing that anymore.
You're going to put a
comment
underneath.
Put it in the comment section, which is right below this post.
Right. Like I said, just if you've got a comment, just leave it in the comment section, and we'll be able to answer it from there. Is that what we're talking about?
That's it. We're done. Have a good one.
Okay, have a great day.
Have a great week.